Let's see.
Welcome everybody to Sam reporting live in the Holyland. Today is April 4th, 2025, and I put in the description, I put in the title I put 4424 like we were last year. We're literally living a year in the past. I'll fix that in a few minutes, but Sammy, how you doing? How's everything, Sammy? Looking good with the mud all over the face. I love that picture. That's a good picture of you. Sammy, so you were mad at me that I didn't want to start an hour ago. You said you had a blow. Here's your chance, man. You gotta blow. Let's do it.
Yeah, dude. Come on. How else? How can I not blow my top? The markets are down 2,200 points. They just closed down 2,200 points. Yesterday they closed down close to 1,700 points. The S&P has lost 10% in 2 days. 10% of its value in 2 days. And all I could say is the controlled demolition is a go. The lever has been pulled. Okay, because of the Liberation Day tariffs.
Liberation Day, yep. That almost sounds familiar. It's almost like Trump copied us with Victory Over the Trolls Day. That's literally what the fucking carbon copy of that was.
I don't know.
He's victory over the swamp, man. Victory over the fucking.
It is. Well, look, you know, he's doing something right if Ron Paul is cheering him on. And Ron Paul is his fanboy saying the fake system is being taken down. The fake economic system is being taken down.
Well, I hope so. I hope so. I hope so. I hope so.
Well, America's economy has been financialized for the past many decades, since the 90s, and it started really going off the rails in the 90s with the Rockefeller apparatchik, the bastard child of the Rockefellers.
Bill Clinton.
Bill Clinton. Yeah,
Bill Clinton. Yeah, because he's a Rockefeller. Hey, show of hands, folks. How many of you knew Bill Clinton was a Rockefeller? Show of hands. Yeah. Very few. All right. But yeah, he's a Rockefeller, guys. You got played. You got fooled again. He's a Rockefeller.
Well, you know what they did was
what did you say about old Willie there? He sure knows how to play the saxophone. You know what I mean?
He does know how to play the saxophone. I learned to work the saxophone. I want to play when I lose. They call our rebel the Crimson Tide.
You know who's shilling for Rockefeller recently? It's Candace Owens. I've been watching. What? Yeah.
No, is she really?
For Rockefeller?
Yeah, she's
Why?
The Rockefellers were extorted, or they were what's the expression for when you
bamboozled? No,
not bamboozled. For like what Jeffrey Epstein was doing with the girls.
Extorted.
Blackmail,
extortion,
blackmail. So she has the nerve to say that the Jews have been blackmailing Rockefeller behind the scenes, and so she's trying to blame all the evil, sinister agendas of the Rockefellers on the Jews now.
Wait a minute, aren't the Rockefellers Noahides? I thought they were.
No, I'm sorry. No, they're wasps. No, they're not Noahides.
Really?
No, they're Satanists also because
they're all
because they're Freemasonic. I mean,
they're Freemasonic. Yes.
America. I mean, New York City. They make sure to leave all of their calling cards in America.
Just like they left that calling card on Ivanka's table at that bistro.
But Candace Owens is now running. Is like shilling. She's running a cover campaign for Rockefeller, trying to blame the Jews that Israel was only founded because the Jews blackmailed Rockefeller, and if they managed to blackmail Rockefeller, they're behind all of the sinister agendas of the Rockefellers, the Jews. Fucking pathetic. Okay,
I don't know. That seems like a reach to me, because I mean,
desperate.
Well, here's the thing. Okay, if the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers weren't tight, the Rockefellers would have died on the Titanic along with the other billionaires, but they didn't. So I have to believe that the Rockefellers and Rothschilds are tight. I have
They
to believe.
are. They are.
I have
But
to
you
believe.
try to blame all the evil and sinister.
Well, she's she gets on a tangent and she goes down the rabbit trail.
She's shilling for the Vatican, and she's shilling for Catholicism because she converted to Catholicism because she married a Catholic, a conservative aristocrat from England. You know.
Well, there we go. Well, you lost Candace, and she's gone. Bye. Because the Catholic Church, hey, folks, learn your history. America was founded because the Church of England and the Church of Rome were slaughtering pagans and Christians. That's why America was founded in the first damn place. And so anybody that shills for Catholicism, you're barking up the wrong tree. You're totally barking up the wrong tree.
You didn't know that she's been this way for.
I didn't know she converted to Catholicism. No, I didn't.
Yeah, no, she's a hardcore Catholic apologist.
Oh,
she's trying to blame all the woes and ills of the world on the Jews because they hate Jesus. We're Antichrist. We hate the Christ.
Well, okay. Let's be clear. The Rothschilds and the other Jewish bankers have nothing to do with Hashem. They worship Moloch.
Yeah.
They do not worship Hashem.
Well, no. She brings up Al Goldstein, the porn producer.
Well, a lot of them were into porn.
Yeah, and there's a quote that Al Goldstein gave in the 90s to a guy called Luke Ford. And I saw it on her. She had Ian Carroll on her show.
Yeah,
and she was talking about the real satanic, atheistic, and sick kind of commentary that Al Goldstein made. She's quoting this one Jew, a lunatic Satanist, who's an atheist, and he's pro pornography because he says he hates Christ, and this is his words, and he says he wants to destroy the WASPs, and he wants to destroy authoritarian Christianity. And I told you that this is the kind of Jew you have in America that has a real chip on his shoulder.
Way too many.
And the long kind of animosity and conflict that raged for centuries it stays with certain Jews. And he says you can go ahead and believe in God. You have a need to believe in the supernatural, and he says that I don't believe in God, I am God. He's one of these, really
motherfuckers spend a week with me and find out. We
know what this kind of person is. They developed 60s and 70s. You had like the time when Ron Jeremy got into the porn industry. And you got a lot of Jews that got into the porn industry, and they were all secular atheists, and some of them converted to Christianity in order to fit in the porn industry better. So we know what these types, and they're all Ashkenazic. They're all European Ashkenazic Jews, and we know they have a chip on their shoulder because they have. Had a longer history of living with the Christians and of being persecuted by the Christians.
I don't think they were.
Once they had the opportunity to, in America's free society, an open, liberal, accepting society, they abused it, and in order to get even. Okay, Ron Jeremy said he got into the porn industry to screw non-Jewish women, to screw Catholic women, to screw white women that are, because it's like sort of like a grudge, to get even with, to fuck these Gentile women because it's like revenge. Mm-hmm. It's sick. And Al Gold is sick in the head.
Yeah.
Jews that got into
it's demonic, dude. So what do you expect? I mean,
depravity. It's like he even told his father, and it was Ron Jeremy when he got into the industry, And his father didn't have a problem with it. He said, "Just don't get carried away or whatever." He told him in the 60s and 70s, they were very nonchalant about it, and they're supposed to be Jews, and Jews are very conservative and orthodox and, not into debauchery and depravity, especially if it's out in the public,
right,
in the public eye. But these people, let themselves go completely. They lost their minds, or they were brought up in Bolshevik atheist families to begin with. And so this strain, these people, this strain of Jews in America really did a job on everyone, because they damaged American culture. They damaged American society. This includes the conservative and prudish Orthodox types of Jews as well, because they created a toxic environment for everyone. And don't think when I was in yeshiva, I was like a Jewish parochial school, the boys weren't watching porn and weren't sexually active in their teen years. And these are supposed to be like religious Jewish schools, and forget about it. American culture rotted everything.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Catholic schoolgirls, come on, we know what goes on over there. In Brooklyn, there were like plenty of Catholic schools in my neighborhood, and they always hiked up their Catholic school skirts, to show off their what.
Yeah.
And so we all know the debauchery, the depravity, and I lived it, and now it's gone over the edge.
Right.
Where's Johnny?
I don't know. Bathroom, maybe. I don't know. Might have went to the bathroom.
The point I wanted to make was, look, the operation is a go.
Right.
This is 100% now a controlled demolition.
Right,
all right.
right.
No matter what Alex Jones says on his show, as far as the strategy or the real sort of like the risk that's it's risky, this operation, or the real sort of like a real sort of like a gamble. It's a gamble, okay? Because guess what happens? Even Peter Thiel, the headlines on the Drudge Report is that Peter Thiel is saying it's the end of the big banks. And Peter Thiel is like no slouch in the financial world or in the business world. And if he's coming out in the open and saying the big banks are going to go down, well, guess what? There's a chain reaction happens here. A chain reaction also happens in China and in Europe. The banks are already vulnerable. Even Warren Buffett said it, and others said it openly, that one of the most vulnerable banks is the Bank of America. In America, that's a Vatican-controlled bank. It's an Italian mafia-controlled bank. It was established by them. Okay, and J.P. Morgan is also in the hands of the families, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers. It's one of their banks, if not the main bank behind the Federal Reserve, the conglomeration of banks. Now, the targets are these banks, and they will go down. If the economy, this is a legitimate leg down as far as the cycles are concerned, but this is one of the big leg downs when it's going to be an actual crash of the economy, of the financial sector, and of the fake economy, the financialized economy. It's all for the sake of controlling the reset. It's what I told you would happen. Now that Trump is in office, he has a limited amount of time to scuttle everything, to demolish everything, and to try to salvage what can be salvaged on the other side of it. All right.
You need help.
So as far as what they're telling us about, this is a well thought out plan in order to revive America's actual manufacturing capacity and ability to bring manufacturing back to the United States. That's legitimate. That's happening, and that's going to happen. But it's going to be at the expense.
Here's the thing, Sammy. Okay, here's the thing about the whole thing. All right, and it's like I've told them on True Social. I've told them on Gab. I've told them everywhere I can tell them. Here's the problem. The problem is if you don't have a Congress that nails this shit down on paper as an actual constitutional amendment, we're going to be going through the Biden shit all over again as soon as Trump is out of office. Okay, because as soon as Trump gets out of office, you can bet they're going to manipulate those damn machines that they were supposed to have gotten rid of.
But the change is going to be so fundamental; it's going to be irreversible. What he's done right now with the Liberation Day tariffs and it's very extreme. It shuts the door on globalization.
I understand that, but you got to hear what I'm saying. Unless you make a constitutional amendment that prevents these motherfuckers from getting in there and switching this shit all back again, it'll be switched all back as soon as the Democrats put a president in there or put.
Yeah, but I think with the consequences of what he's doing now. It could literally, overthrow them permanently. This is so grand. This is so. How would I?
We'll see.
It's so grandiose what's happening right now, because if it takes down the banks will never recover from this. This is literally taking on the Federal Reserve and the conglomeration of private banks that own them.
Well, if their fake ass money is no longer being used in the world, that's the end of them in the first.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's the target. That's the real agenda, the hidden agenda behind what he's doing now. And so Alex Jones could run cover, and others can run cover and say this is about an attempt to bring back manufacturing, which it is part of the agenda. But in truth, taking this kind of tack, taking this kind of direction, it causes a chain reaction, and they know it. And Peter Thiel even says it out in the open. It's the end for the big banks. All right, so and this means the Federal Reserve, because it's owned by the big banks. So if you take
it's okay, stop right there, because that's a good point. All right, you got Peter Thiel, a high-ranking member of Bilderberg, saying he's okay with the banks going down.
Yeah, check out Drudge Report. He said it. It's the headline on Drudge Report.
I'm having a hard time with that one. Okay.
No, they knew, and Warren Buffett knows, and that's why he got out. And
Warren Buffett's in on it too. Really?
Yeah, he divested from all his bank investments from Bank of America, J.P. Morgan. He's out of investing in the big banks. He's out.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Wow, now.
Holy shit! Well, okay. Well, I mean, if Buffett is in. And Theo is in, and some of these other multi-billionaires are in.
Elon Musk also divested.
Musk. Well, I mean, I don't know what happened. Well, I just praise the guys.
They know the symptoms of the financial.
Or maybe they know that destroyer's coming to kick their motherfucking ass. And
that too. You know what? They know that we've entered a new age, a new period that is tangible. That they know that the elites can no longer run the mind control. The mind control is run out of steam. Right. All right. So and America is awake, even though they don't have they haven't recovered their intestinal fortitude or their backbone to actually realize that this is the right direction to take. But what it will entail is what they don't want to tell you. The banks will fail, and there will be bail-ins. The housing market will collapse, and home prices will be reduced to nothing. Gold and silver prices will shoot to the moon. and you'll have a debt default, a technical debt default. This is so that they won't tell you this heavy stuff. They'll tell you that it'll bring back manufacturing. They'll tell you that a weak dollar is good for competition. They'll tell you that it's incentive for multinational corporations to return to manufacturing in America. They'll highlight all of the positives. They won't tell you about the extreme side of it, which is also what they're planning as part of their agenda as far as a reset, that you'll have a technical debt default when the banks fail, okay? Because and there'll be bail-ins and bank accounts will be confiscated. It's going to happen,
Right?
It's already happening. It's already being talked about in Europe. The EU is talking about confiscating European bank accounts in order to continue funding the Ukraine war. All right, but
Ukraine war.
That would be insane.
They actually made it a policy. You look into it. They made it policy.
What do you want? Oh, come on, you ain't in trouble.
But at the end of the day, with this kind of slide, 1,700 points yesterday, 2,200 points today. We're going into the weekend, Monday morning in America. It's going to continue sliding, and this is it. So once it cascades and takes down the whole, the entire
the whole kit and caboodle.
Yeah, the whole kit and caboodle, the whole infrastructure.
Right, but once you take it down, once you take down all their infrastructure and all their bullshit, make sure they can't come back here again like they did in 1871, like they did in 1913, like they did in 1917. Keep them from coming back, and you do that by making a constitutional amendment that says no foreign fuckers can come over here and take over this goddamn country. Period. End of story. Full stop. And then that stops that shit from ever happening again. Because that's got to be. That's got to be.
Yeah, they did it underhandedly. Yeah, they did it underhandedly.
We have got to have a constitutional amendment that these motherfuckers can't come over here and start this shit all over again like they did back in 1871, 1913, 1917, 1933.
Who were they? British bankers. British imperial bankers.
The bankers.
The British imperial bankers.
Mr. Jackson, what is it? What is the one thing you want to be remembered? I killed the banks. And then he dies.
The British imperial banks.
Then he keels over dead. It's like, fuck. but yeah, I killed the banks. And then he dies. Boom. He literally croaks right then, It's like, fuck. But hey, he got his word out.
This is a very bold and brave move that, but he wouldn't be doing this if he didn't feel that they're actually weak right now. They've been weakened, and they're not as menacing as they used to be. They're not as capable of being as maniacal and evil and satanic as they used to be, because the power has been taken from them. You know why? Because we've exited Kali Yuga. We're out of the age of darkness. These people are less powerful, and they're more exposed, and people have an awareness of them. They can't run the same kind of, operations to keep everybody menaced and intimidated, and that's why it's happening, So for whatever, however they want to frame it, or however they want to kind of like, perception manage the whole thing that they're doing now, it's basically the takedown of the financial system. It's the takedown, and it's Alex Jones was afraid it would be like a pyrrhic. How did he phrase it in the Greek?
Empirical?
A pyrrhic victory. Pyrrhic meaning you win the war, but afterwards you die. You have your demise. You have. It's a Pyrrhic victory. It's like you succeed, but you also go down with the ship afterwards. A Pyrrhic victory. But in this case, It's all up in the air because you also have the dynamic of the war breaking out in the Persian Gulf against Iran, and who knows what kind of effects that will have on what's being done right now to take down the system and reboot it or reset it or restructure it. What Trump is very well known for. All right, so it's kind of like you're juggling a lot of moving parts and juggling all sorts of things all at the same time. Who knows? But all I know for sure is these are clear signs of the arrival of the Jewish Messiah. Because in our ancient texts and in our ancient prophecies, this is one for one. You're going to have a reset of the value of money. That's absolutely messianic. This potential war that's about to erupt against Iran, Persia, absolutely messianic end times according to Jewish eschatology. So many things are happening right now that fit Jewish and end times prophecies that it makes my mind, it makes my head spin. It blows my mind. I'm serious, man. But aside from that, it's like, what can I say? It's just like overdue because you just know that that the time for God to be known and revealed to all living things and to the entire human race is well overdue. Okay, because the social and cultural decay is no longer tolerable. You cannot tolerate it anymore, and that's where we've arrived. That's what we're upon right now. So it's like I left some requests for the Trump team to basically, if you want to, I wouldn't say escalate. If you want to supercharge your agenda and attain your goal, if you want to get there real quick, look, the Hamas is ready to fold. They're ready to give in. They've made it known that they want to return all of the living hostages and the dead that they're holding, just in order for Israel to stop the surge or the assault right now that Israel is undertaking in Gaza. They're ready to raise the white flag, but they just want to be stubborn about staying there and holding on to their arms in order to recuperate and live to fight another day. But Israel, so they're willing to give up all of the hostages, living and dead, but they still want us to be stubborn about holding on to their weapons and to their arms in Gaza, and we're not having it. But all I could say is, if you want to help us out and help yourselves, President Trump, the Trump team, the Trump administration, put pressure on Egypt and on President Sisi. You remember I went on that Israeli primetime show, and I made a personal request of President Trump, put more pressure on President Sisi and on the Egyptian government. I'll repeat my request humbly. If you do this, everything will move along faster. The minute the Hamas gives in, returns our hostages, living and dead, and they leave the Gaza Strip, you can give them an exit, however you want to do it, and our objectives get met. Once that happens, you will have what you want, President Trump. You will get what you're looking for. You will get your reset. They are linked. One event is linked with the other, because my rabbi said this. Rabbi Ner Ben Artzi said it. He said the day after the war ends in Israel against the Hamas is when the full financial reckoning that is underway right now will take place. I mean, it's like paralleling one track is parallel to the other right now. It's already underway. The takedown is being has begun. Okay, and at the same time, the Hamas is about ready to give up and return our hostages. My rabbi, Rabbi Ner Ben Artzi, said, the minute the war ends and our hostages are returned, the day after, the financial reckoning will be in full bloom. It will go full tilt. Okay, and that's what President Trump is actually aiming for. So I'm telling you, do everyone a favor, put pressure on President Sisi and on the Egyptian government. You can bring it about, and what my rabbi said is, if it's done before Pesach, before Passover, guess what? Guess what happens? The month of Nisan will be the month of redemption, the full redemption. All right? So it's in everyone's best interest, those that are on the side of light, those that are on the side of truth, that our hostages be released as soon as possible, all of them, living and dead. And what is the key to that? What is the best way of attaining that? Trump just has to say a certain something to President Sisi, put pressure on the Egyptian government and on Sisi, and the hostages get released, and the Hamas are defeated. And so that's what our administration here in Israel, Bibi Netanyahu, needs to have a visible, a complete victory, a total victory that he's promised the Israeli public. It's for also for his own sort of perception management, because he can't end this war without having the Israeli public perceive that there has been a complete and total victory. That's what is the essential perception that must be created. Okay, so that's why the best thing President Trump can do for us and for himself is to put pressure on Sisi to release our hostages, all of them, living and dead.
I agree,
because it has metaphysical and spiritual ramifications here. I'm going according to what my rabbi said, and what he says is what I'm promoting. The minute the war ends and our hostages are returned, the next day you'll have your full-blown reset. We're already on the way. All right, and the full-blown reset is a necessity. It's a necessity. Everybody understands that a controlled demolition is already underway. And even Trump said it openly. He said, I'm looking to take down the markets. I don't care about the markets. All right? Who benefits from the fucking stock market in America? You know, they did the statistics. It's only 8%.
I don't fucking benefit.
8% of the public over there.
But what are you doing? What are you doing with that picture, man?
I just thought it was funny as hell, man. Funny as
Romans.
It's all about perception management.
It's funny as hell. It said they're getting the selfies, man. Romans are taking selfies of this. I thought it was funny. I thought it was funny as fuck. Oh well, one guy's flashing a peace sign. You know, I just thought it was funny as fuck.
John, you want to put up the front page of the Drudge Report? We'll talk about it.
Yeah, Drudge Report. Yeah, I saw that too.
Did he go commie or some shit?
Yeah, it's communist.
Yeah, you can't rely on them, but I'm just saying, just to understand what. Down crashing the markets. Dow down 2,231 points. The declared end of big banks. MAGA war with the Fed. This is the Drudge Report. This is like mainstream. All right? And who declared the end of big banks? Peter Thiel. You open up the front.
Well, it says Thiel declared the end of the big banks. It says that.
Oh yeah, Thiel declared end of big banks.
Yeah, but now, you know, Bilderberg ain't exactly known to be saints. Hello. So I mean,
well, you know what? It's basically, if he's siding with Trump, he realizes that the agenda of Bilderberg and the Satanists in the cabal, and the globalist cabal, is depopulation, and he's not on board with it.
Maybe
he's not on board, just the same as Elon Musk is not on board.
Yeah, but could it just be that they know the destroyer's coming to kill their fucking ass, and so they're trying to play nice? You know,
could be. It could be, or it could be that they actually care for the lives of their children. They have a lot of children. Well, that's what Alex Jones said. He said a lot of these globalists that have had a change of heart don't want to see their children dead. They actually care for the lives of their children. Yeah.
Well, that is indeed a possibility. I hope that's true. I do. I hope that's true. I don't know if it's true.
It's a very risky gamble because, again, you have the derivatives behind these big banks, and they're in the hundreds of trillions. So once the derivatives pop, and once the repo markets run haywire, you have a currency crisis. You have a debt market crisis, and this is not something that is easily manageable. This means a complete debt default. It means a complete currency reset. It means a transition to digital currencies. This is what is on the agenda, and these people, this is not what they're going to tell you. This is not. They're not going to. They're going to scare the shit out of the public if they tell them this. So they have to sell it as something positive, all right? And that's how it's being sold right now.
Well, it is something positive. It's the end. It's the end of the globalist control over the people of Earth, which is a great thing. That's an awesome thing.
It's painful. It's painful. It's something that a lot of people that are pussies don't want to go through.
Well, that's just because they don't understand. It's not.
No, like Gregory Mannarino, the market expert, the day trader, right. And all these people. It's like they don't want their system to go down like this. They thought it could be done in other ways.
Yeah, they're a daily talk show.
In other ways.
They're a daily talk show, but instead of talking about news, they talk about the markets and shit.
Yeah. Well, you can't go on with this kind of bullshit. It needed to be taken down. This is a controlled demolition. It says can you open up that article, John? We can actually.
Believe me, I am hoping and praying and everything.
Trump actually said it. He said, "I don't care if I crash the markets. I don't care."
Good. That's good, because that's because I mean it. Oh, community award. Okay, well, all right, very good. Thank you. I wanted a community award. Okay, cool beans. If that is indeed the case, then that's awesome, and I'm looking forward to it. But again,
you just have to look at Russia. Look, the biggest landmass in all of the world.
Vladimir Putin just got on the fucking news the other day and said all the problems in the Middle East are America's fault. And I'm like, motherfucker, I'm pretty damn sure America wasn't around in 650 AD. I'm pretty damn sure of that shit.
No, I'm just saying to draw a comparison.
I'm saying though, John, we could see you.
Russia has the greatest landmass of all the countries of the world.
Can see you, John.
I was just fixing my pants. My pants were loose. I was fixing them.
I know, but we could see you. I'm just saying.
I'm wearing pants. You can't see anything.
All right. I'm just.
They were a little loose, so I tightened them a little bit. That's
Russia is a self-dependent country. It's what you called an autarky. They're not. If they get cut off from the rest of the world, they'll be just fine. They'll be just fine, and
exactly. That's what we need to get.
That's what Donald Trump is aiming for.
I hope so. I hope it is, because that's what we need to be. We need to be just like that. We need to be able to build our own shit, handle our own shit, deal with our own shit. We're supposed to be a shining city on the hill that people can emulate. They look at America and say, "Look, man, America's prospering. They're doing well. They're isolated. They got their own shit." We need to be like that.
That's what he's aiming for. And so when you take down the markets like this, that's the effect it's going to have. He wants to incentivize all of these multinational companies that had their start in America. to come back to manufacturing in America.
Well, they need
all right. So he's ending globalism. I mean, all of these tariffs right now, they're devastating the global economy right now. They're devastating the global order. Devastating it.
I hope that's true.
It is. What the fuck are you doing? What the fuck is 2,000 points yesterday, 2,231 points today, and we have more to go next week.
I saw it.
And once the banks
Sammy, say it with me. Baruch Hashem.
Baruch Hashem. Okay, once the banks go down, that's when the real apocalypse begins. That's when the real apocalypse begins.
Right. What do you want?
Sammy, I picked up a new chumash actually.
Well, good for you. Congratulations. Mazal tov, mazal tov, mazal tov. It's an art scroll. Is it an art scroll?
No, Chabad chumash.
Okay, good for you, man. But anyway, the whole spiel now is basically trying to understand if this is genuine. And I think it's 100% fully genuine. I mean, America's rotted to such a degree that even the people that could easily just go on living their lives, comfortably there, are saying we can't continue living like this if the society and culture around us is completely rotten. It doesn't serve our future interests to live in a country that's decaying and corroding and it's what do you call that when you have a building that's been give me the expression. Condemned. That's the word I'm looking for. Condemned.
America has been condemned. Yes, that's true.
Yeah, so you can't go on. This is the time to really be brave and take these kinds of measures, and so all the luck to the Trump team. I'm just asking for one thing, President Trump, and you can do it very easily right now, is just put all the pressure necessary on President Sisi and the government of Egypt. And once we get all of our hostages living and dead, you'll have your full-blown reset. The next day, you'll have it.
I'm going to be honest with you, Sammy. I don't think there's any hostages left.
No, they're alive. There are about 24 of them. The Hamas.
I'm going to be honest with you. I guarantee you, none of them are alive.
I'm telling you now. If Hamas may openly communicated that they're willing to release living hostages, you can bet that they're living hostages. They said this today. They're willing to raise the white flag in exchange for
they're doing tequila, Sam. You know what tequila is, right?
Yeah. They want to have a hudna. They want
their cake too. They want the cake.
Yeah. But if they wouldn't say this if they don't hold living hostages. All right, they're keeping them alive. But the thing is, it can all be taken care of quite easily if President Trump just tells Egypt, listen, you tell your wind-up toys, you tell your proxy group, the Hamas, to release the Israeli hostages, and they'll release the Israeli hostages. Trump has his ways of putting pressure on Egypt and on the Egyptian president. Egypt is very dependent on the United States, extremely dependent.
I hope you're right, Sammy. For our sake and your sake and the hostages' sake, for Hashem's sake, I hope so.
Because there's something, a sort of kismet and metaphysical that's about to happen the minute we get all of our hostages back, all right? This is what my rabbi promised, okay? And if it's done prior to Passover, that is the real key to the whole reset. Believe it or not, the global financial reset, which is what they're aiming for, which is what Trump is aiming for right now. All right.
Well, I hope that's the case. Like I said, though, what we need to do here in the States specifically is we need to get Congress or the Supreme Court to declare the Act of 1871 and the Act of 1913 unconstitutional, which they are, and for Congress to create an amendment to the Constitution to prevent foreign bankers or any foreign entity from coming over here and literally creating law that binds the American people into financial slavery. That needs to be a thing. That needs to happen. And if it doesn't happen, guess what? 1871 or 1913 or 1917, it all happened right all over again. Because without an actual amendment to the Constitution preventing these fucks from doing it, they'll be right back here to do it again, guaranteed.
It won't happen. Well, you know what? I'll be more optimistic than you are. It won't happen. You know why? Because this is a paradigm shift unlike any other in human history. This is a paradigm shift, and I'm talking from the Jewish perspective. Right. I'm talking from the end times eschatology of the Jews. This is a paradigm shift for all time, for all eternity. All right? These fucking sinister people, these control freaks, the social engineers are having their
final moment.
They're meeting their fate. That's it. It's over.
This is their last supper before they're
absolutely. That's absolutely correct.
Well, I come from the show me state, so when they show me, then I'll believe because.
But you live in Kentucky. You don't live in Missouri.
When a prisoner is about to die, they say, "What do you want to eat? What's your last meal?" This is it. What's your last meal?
I'm gonna be like St. Thomas. You show me, motherfucker, and then I'll believe.
Well, you're not from Missouri. You're from Kentucky or Ohio, right? Ohio.
I know, but it's still a good line. It's still a good line. Show me the proof, man. Show me the evidence, and then
show me the money.
Show me the money, yeah, whatever. But show me, just show me. Like I said, man. Congress has the ability. The Supreme Court has the ability right now to declare the Act of 1871 and the Act of 1913 illegal, and to tell the globalists to get the fuck out right now. They can do it right now. Iceland did it. Netherlands did it. Why the fuck can't we do it? We can. We just don't want to, I guess. Or you could say they're so firmly entrenched that it'd be more difficult. I don't know. But if Iceland can do it and the Netherlands can do it, kick out the globalist bankers, kick out the central bank, and, tell Rothschild to go back to Brussels.
10-minute countdown, and 10 minutes ago, me and Vaughn has to get going.
Guess what? I mean, Trump is tipping over the chessboard. Literally now.
I hope so. I do. I hope so. I hope that's the case. I hope these globalists get everything that they deserve and more, because they deserve a beatdown of unparalleled proportions. Thousands and thousands of years, mankind has been enslaved by these fucking globalist elitist bastards. And it needs to end. It needs to fucking end. Sharpie.
Yeah, they wanted to return the whole world back to feudalism. They wanted feudalism.
Well, no, I don't want feudalism. I just want my republic back. That's all.
No, those were their aims. It wasn't just feudalism. It was like sort of like serfism. But they wanted to Holocaust the whole planet. They wanted to basically Holocaust everybody. Literally stop people from breeding, stop people from living too long and from being healthy. The whole agenda. Did you get yourself some of that natto? You don't have to get the beans, there, Yvonne.
You get the powder. What you do, you get the powder and you just sprinkle it on shit.
Yeah, but you don't even have to prepare the food. You just get the benefits of the main ingredients. You
get the powder. You get the powder. You put it on your food.
You can take it in tablet form as a supplement.
Yeah.
You don't have to prepare it. It's called natokines.
You take it, you open up the packet, you pour the shit on your food, and you eat it. And it's
Yeah. There
that's
you
what
go.
I'm doing. That's what I'm
Oh, you
doing.
did? You got it?
No, I ain't yet.
Oh,
I ain't got it yet. I'm gonna order it, and I'm gonna get some, and then I'll just pour it on my food and eat it, and I should be good to go.
Yeah.
Hopefully. But
Candace Owens also brought up the fact that the Beatles were a psyop of the Tavistock Institute, and that's actually the truth.
that's the truth. The whole thing about murdering Paul to keep shit quiet or something, I mean, it's like, so I mean, there's something going on, because
they replaced him.
Well, see, a lot of people don't know. A lot of people don't know this, but Paul really did die in a car crash.
They replaced him with a body double,
Yeah, and he was replaced by a body double. That's correct. And they even did a song called Billy Shears about the whole damn thing.
And they also talked about their MI5 handler in that song.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. They kind of coded a lot of their music.
They encoded a lot of shit into their songs. That's right.
Yeah,
that's absolutely right. And a lot of people don't know that. See, a lot of people don't know that. But yeah, man. I mean, I just
I like listening to Candace Owens, but Well,
I'm very disappointed. Let me say this publicly, because I know that there are certain people that do watch us. So let me just say this publicly. Candace, I love you to pieces, but if you've actually sold out to the Vatican, the people that actually persecuted our founding fathers, I mean, holy shit, how long does it take to go on the internet and find out that the Church of England and the Church of Rome persecuted the founders that founded this great nation? How long does that take? Half a second to figure that shit out? I mean, I don't understand it, Candace. I'm sorry, I don't understand it. I don't understand how you could side with the people that literally tried to destroy this nation. I don't get it. I don't understand.
Well, she doesn't like the Jewish meddling in America's population.
Yeah, but then you don't turn around and go hang out with the Catholics either. I mean, the Catholic Church was literally killing Southern Baptists, literally. And so was King James and King George. They were killing Baptists. They were killing pagans. Millions of pagans died at the hand of the Catholic Church and the Church of England. And see, I don't know if people are just ignorant of that fact or what. But they need to get their heads
well, love will do that to you, and especially if you marry a guy that's a hardcore Catholic, and he feels like she's being deprogrammed from her Jewish programming and upbringing in America, and now she's like latching on to the genuine Christianity that she's been missing out on, or whatever.
Well, I just I don't think it's a good idea, but I mean,
me neither.
Well, I mean, when Putin went forward with Boris Yeltsin's Glasnost and Perestroika, and he came out with the idea that they were going back to Russian Orthodox Christianity, which is an offshoot of Greek Orthodox Christianity. I mean, I'm sitting there, cringing, but I mean, that's what they were used to before the fall.
Right.
And so I okay, I can understand that. I get it. I'm not stupid. But I mean, really
going the path of Catholicism.
Well, we need to understand. We need to understand history. And we need to understand history, especially as Americans. We need to understand that the Catholic Church and the Church of England butchered Christians and pagans by the thousands, even the millions in some cases. And people need to understand that shit, and they're clueless, I guess.
You know how many times I left links to the Creating Christ documentary on her a BitChute and Rumble page, and also to Caesar's Messiah, the links to the book and to the documentary, and they'll never ever address that. They'll never. It's their pride, it's their ego, it's their foundation, and they'll just go on and on about scapegoating the Jews, the evil Jews. for crucifying Jesus, for hating Jesus, for hating everything that's good.
Okay, under every old Christian church in England, if you dig down underneath the church, there is another church. Only it is dedicated to Mithras, a Roman god. That's not Von Helm's opinion.
Originally a Persian god. Well, it's a god that kind of was passed down from the Persians.
He was literally the predecessor.
Persians got it from the Hindus.
He was literally the predecessor to the Jesus that they have today. Literally. I mean, the same thing. Walked on water, 12 disciples, healed the sick, caused the blind to see. The whole, literally, almost word for word. Okay, but under every old church in England, there is a church dedicated to Mithras, the pre-Jesus Jesus, if you will, and people need to know that, and a lot of people don't know that.
No,
and you try to tell them, and they're just like, "Well, you just hate Christianity." No, I'm telling you facts.
They actually have the altars there. There are a lot of documentaries showing the footage of the actual ancient Mithraic, places of worship, shrines or temples or churches, whatever. And there's an altar to Mithras, and they've got the figure there, and and the bull, and he's got his Smurf hat, whatever.
Right.
And anyway, but the more intriguing business is to watch like the 2-hour-long documentary, Creating Christ, and then it's very cathartic. It's very liberating.
Yeah,
because you realize the genuine history of the conflict between the Jews and the non-Jews that led to the creation of Christianity and to the engineering of the Jesus God. They engineered him. It was an engineered God.
Well, I'm hoping that when they realize the truth, that they'll all come to freedom religion and get truly set free, and then that'll be awesome. And that way, that'll be great. That'll be awesome right there. That'll be.
But it's too hard for them. It's religious ego, religious pride. They've invested all of themselves.
I was a Christian for 20 years. I did it. If I can do it, anybody can do it. I did it. I went to freedom religion, man. I've been set free.
Germany. I don't know if it's. I watched and listened to a show about Germany. Because the population there has now become majority agnostic, secular.
The majority is now crested to Muslim. Muslims are literally the majority in Germany right now.
No, the white Germans, the original Germans.
Yeah,
they're non-believers. They're no longer Christian, and they're not.
Well, probably not. I mean, Christianity let their country get taken over by Islam. So, what do you think? I mean, do you think they're going to stay Christian?
It's all the pedophile scandals also turned them off.
That too, that too. Which is another reason why I can't understand why anybody would go to Catholicism. I mean, wasn't Catholicism just embroiled in a whole pedophile scandal here not too long ago? And
they'll do apologetics for the Catholic Church day and night.
Sure they will. I'm sure they will.
But, the obsession is now with finding conspiracy theories to blame the Jews for all of the evils of the Gentiles. Like she's running cover for the Rockefellers. Right. She's shilling for the Rockefellers. She's shilling for the Vatican, and she's saying behind all of them are the Jews. Like we're more powerful than Rockefeller and the Vatican.
Well, the Rothschilds do have a lot of influence and a lot of power, and so she's technically right, I guess. I mean, they're Bolshevik Jews, so
the Jews that are in powerful positions of power are manipulative. They are conniving. That's right. They are underhanded. They are schemers. They are,
but they're not Orthodox, and that's something that people need to understand.
They're no different from the Vatican itself or from the other elite.
Well, they're Moloch worshippers. They're demonic. They are satanic. They follow a dark path. However you wish to word it.
Well, they're legal the British Freemasons and the American Freemasons, and those people disguise their true nature at the highest levels. It's about preserving power for yourself. It's about suppressing others.
Right.
You know, and pretending to be good, pretending to be righteous. You know, that's the worst thing. They like to create this image of themselves.
And it'll all be burned up. Watch and see. It'll all be burned up. That destroyer that's coming, listen to me, elitists. That destroyer that's coming ain't playing, man. He's coming for keeps. All right.
That's about to happen soon. It's the arrival of the true Messiah, the Jewish Messiah. My rabbi said in Hebrew, ototo. Ototo means now. He said, achshav, now. It's like it's about when you have this global financial reset, and when you have this, if it happens, if a war kicks off against Iran, this fits perfectly with Jewish end times eschatology. And then you're going to hear the trumpets of heaven all around the planet. You know, what's John? Give me the Christmas liturgy for like the song, the carols. Ringing in the sheaves. We will come rejoicing. Ringing in the sheaves. Ring in the birth, the true birth. The you know, sing me a Christmas carol about like, no, the king is born. Was it? Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Anyway, John.
All right, let's get going. I'm gonna make a quick phone call. Give me about 15-20 minutes. 6:30 we'll reconvene. We'll kill some things. Okay.
All right. Sounds like